thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Adrian White says the PLP's prospect in St. Anne's is not suited to lead. We hear more tonight. Also, the FNM says the protocols at the Ponciana Inn shelter must change, as the people in that shelter should be allowed to stay for as long as they need to. And is the Bahamas ready to possibly see an influx of Haitian immigrants? President Trump says by September, the 750,000 plus Haitian immigrants who were there under special circumstances must leave. That's right, he said they must leave. Now the big question tonight is where they go in. Also tonight, get this, here's how this show is just elevated. One of my panelists, I must now refer to him as the Right Honorable. You all heard that? The Right Honorable. I'll tell you exactly who that is coming up. It's all straight ahead for you. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Let's get started, shall we? Of course, we all know the 52nd independence anniversary just took place. You all know it was rained out on Wednesday evening, so the festivities took place last evening. But again, really awesome. Everything went well. But I'll tell you this, if you were paying attention, of course, there was the honors and the annual honors at Government House last evening. And one of the persons in attendance, in fact, it was a whole list of people who got honored, but one of the persons in attendance was, you all ready for this one? You ready? I mean, I have to call, listen, I can tell you this right now, was Leslie Osborne Miller. Leslie O. Miller. Leslie Miller also honored, and everybody's like, listen, really awesome. He is deserving. Leslie is now the Right Honorable. I mean, when you have to call Prime Minister Davis, Prime Minister Christie, Prime Minister Ingram, even Prime Minister Miss, I think, has that title. Well, so too, and the Governor General as well, but so too, one of my panelists this evening. Welcome to the Beyond the Headlines contributors, the Right Honorable Leslie Miller and Garth, you look shocked. I told you I have a surprise for you. And Garth Rosborough. Gentlemen, hello to both of you. Welcome to the show.
Well, I'm speechless.
I told you.
Good night, everyone. Yes, I am in shock, but, you know, much deserving. And so I just can't call him Les or Leslie no more.
I can't be like Leslie.
When I see him in public, I gotta say, you know, most honorable. No, I can't call him pot cake. He's now the Right Honorable pot cake.
No, but I'll tell you, that's it. That's what he is. Garth, you are the smartest one in the room. That's exactly what he is. He is the Right Honorable. Because he didn't say that. They said, no. I'm still the people's pot cake. We all now Right Honorable together. Leslie, congratulations to you, man.
Congratulations.
You're really deserving. Leslie Miller, of course, and I'll let him speak in a minute, but you know, he's been a cabinet minister in several ministries, also chairman of corporations and a whole number of other things, and still work, because to this day people speak highly of you, Leslie, as the poor man's voice, the one who gets it done. Sometimes you and I would, I'd be like, Leslie, that's how you see an issue? No, man, Leslie. But Leslie really genuinely wants to see the average Bahamian win in terms of just recently a lady and her BPL bill. And the fact that there was a mix-up for many years at her house in terms of the wiring. Leslie went there and sorted that out and try get it sorted out and get that huge bill that really wasn't hers just wiped off. These are the things that, Leslie, that you do. You have gained the reputation of, again, being the voice of the poor man, the average man, the man or woman who needs assistance in this nation. And for this, you've been recognized for all of that, what I just said, you know, from politics to what you do even now, you've been recognized. And congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm very humble and appreciative of the honor that was given, not only to myself, but to all those persons that I call the potcakes, which constitute about 85% of our population. So we are now called the Right Honorable. But what I really appreciate is the fact that the company that we are in now, all of us, you got people like, first of all, my good friend, Willa Francis, who was born on the same day as I.
Really?
Yes, he's
Paul is a Right Honorable too?
Yes, he,
Well, you all
has his thing going on now.
Oh, I don't.
I don't know if he's the Right Honorable, but
No.
he is in that same category
Yes,
of us,
yes.
which is the first category. You also have my two good friends, Stan and Jackson Burnside. One has passed. And the good thing is that we all from a color corner, Mason Addition and the Fort Hill. So in that slight radius of about 300 yards, you have 4 members from that community, which people now look down on. But I keep telling them that back then, in the 40s and 50s when we were born, that was the closest place to Bay Street. And they forget it was an upscale area. Now they look at it as a trash can. And I'm so proud that 4 of us, 4 fellas from the same blocks, was able to achieve that distinction. Very, very happy to be in the company of such great men that I really respect all my life, and really, really, admire them, all of them. And it's an honor and a pleasure. My parents, Mario and the babies, and my brothers and sisters, and all of my family members and my loved ones are very proud to share this
Did you say?
honor with
say
them.
loved ones?
Yes.
I say lovers or loved
Did you
ones?
say loved
My loved
ones?
ones.
Oh, loved ones.
Oh, loved
Okay.
ones. Okay.
Okay.
And also,
Lovers. Okay, good.
the constituents of my area that I had the pleasure of representing, Blue Hills, from 1987, and then Tall Pines Change for the last 2 years off and on. I'm really grateful for their patronage, and then them having defeated me to send me to Parliament. And I trust that I did my job. I made all of my constituents one promise. I said, I'll do my best. And I believe from what has transpired in my life over the last 40 years, I think I've done that on their behalf, because most of them continue to say what a job that I did on their behalf. I'm still humble. I met a young man last week in Smith. I didn't think he was this type of fella. From watching you in Parliament, the hell you raised on behalf of the little fella. But you just like them, I say, because I'm born from McCullough Corner. That's embedded in us, in our parents, in our community, and the people who grew us up as young boys and forced us to become someone. And it's not about me, it's about us. Because I called myself the potcake, and I always tell the Prime Minister, all of them, Mr. Ingram, Mr. Linden, God bless him, Mr. Christian, everybody else, that you all need to appreciate that 65% of the population of this country are regular, everyday people, which I'm one of. We call ourselves the potcakes. So it's not about me, it's about us. It's about them trying to advance their lives and make it a better place. I'm very humble on all of their behalf.
That's very
that
good.
this honor has been
It's
bestowed
wonderful,
upon us.
Leslie. And
Thank
don't,
you so much.
don't downplay it, and don't try to be too modest about it. You're deserving.
But I can't see no one calling me the right honorable man.
Yeah, you know. Well, when we're
It's
ready
a
to
potcake,
tease,
you know?
when we're ready to tease you and do some stuff, you are right honorable. That's what. And when we need to use that title and say, "Excuse me, you all know who I with here? This the right honorable." Don't mix it up. You know what I mean, God? So God, let's just tuck that. Let's put that someplace on the side and hold on to it.
Right
But,
honorable.
yes,
Both
absolutely.
Right honorable, both.
Yeah, but
And
Leslie.
of course, my other good friend who was there, Peter Battle, God bless him, he's passed now. It's a very top of the line MP. He is also included in this list. So it's very an outstanding list of men who made a valuable contribution. Gus Cooper, who happened to be a cousin of mine, because his daddy and my uncle were brothers. You know, so it's an outstanding list. Nico Grant, another good man. But Teresa Moxie Ingram, Moses Johnson
Nico Grant in Grand Bahama.
in Grand Bahama.
Moses is
Then
from
I
Church
don't
of
know
God.
who Pastor Francis
okay,
Carey is.
okay.
Earl DeVoe, good friend of mine. He was a
Former-
minister in the government.
Earl
Former Minister of
DeVoe.
Agriculture.
Earl
He was
DeVoe,
also
yeah.
in PLP. Bishop Delden for
And the
Fernando.
F&M.
I see he came with him yesterday and blasted the little rookie pastors that say, you know, cater to the politicians rather than catering to God and their flock. And Dr. Anthony Farrington, I'm familiar with his father, but not who he is. I'm not familiar with him. That's 13, I believe, men that's deserving of such an honor for the work that they would have done in this country. But I still speak for the potcakes.
Kudos.
I'll always be a potcake.
It's very
So
good.
you could come with your honors, but that's our honors, not mine.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
shared each and every Bahamian, especially the downtrodden.
Very, very good. Gentlemen, now we're going to move on this evening because we have quite a bit to get to. and through. Members of the opposition Free National Movement lighting fire under the government's feet as they are calling on the government to reverse protocols at the local Ponciana Inn shelter. We get the story from Linton Ritchie Jr. and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Residents at the Ponciana Inn shelter have reportedly been served eviction letters, citing that their time at the temporary government-run facility has come to an end. Tonight, opposition Free National Movement members are calling on government to reverse that decision. Outside the shelter, members of the F&M caucus attempted to gain entry to assess conditions and speak with residents, but were stopped by security on site. National Assistant Secretary General and prospective Englerston candidate Heather McDonald spoke to what she says were first-hand accounts from shelter occupants.
Sleeping in hospital beds full of bed bugs. The ground is full of mold. Communal kitchen that they have is moldy. Toilets are overrun with waste.
McDonald claims residents were evicted without any clear plan for relocation. To that, Minister of Social Services Miles LaRota responded, explaining that those who have been housed at the shelter for an extended period receive letters as part of a phased transition effort.
The magistrate had to agree as to the legality of the eviction.
However, LaRota did acknowledge claims of poor living conditions.
Some cases is less than ideal. Some rooms have various levels of repairs and complaints.
F&M Foxhill candidate Dr. Nicholas Fox also weighed in, expressing concern over the environment residents were left to endure.
Substandard conditions, you're put at risk for disease and death, and nobody cares.
Opposition members are now challenging government with this question.
And the government is using taxpayers' dollars to pay the landlord for this facility, and it is a hazard zone.
Government officials confirm that the shelter's lease is nearing expiration and negotiations are underway to relocate residents. However, Minister LaRota says a decision to renew the contract for the Ponciana Inn has not been made. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
And so there you have it, you all. I mean, this has been, the fact that the Ponciana Inn is in the news, again, it's really no surprise to anybody. That shelter has been in the news for quite some time, whether needing people to leave and understand that it's just sort of a transient point. I think it's about maybe 3 months that you are there, and then you have to, then what they do is send you to another shelter, but in the meantime, you are to have training and just upskilling that hopefully would get you employed, and then you can get out of the system. All of that happens as well once you are there. But again, if you are still, obviously you have to be there, and then you are sent to another shelter. The resistance has been, and the issue has been with that shelter in particular, is that people don't want to leave. Now, you heard, well, what? They don't leave on any of them? But they love that because they say, it's air conditioning, it's cable, it's all the, like, I don't know what it is about that one, but people stench when it comes to that one there.
They make babies.
What happened?
No, Dave and I, along with our good friend and brother who passed, we built Bilscombe. We met a lady on the campaign trail off East Street, one of the corners that I grew up through. And she was down and out with 4 children. We took out to one of the places out west that you may not be aware of, small hotel out west. And the next thing we know, she stayed so long, she stayed about 2 years, she was pregnant and had a baby.
Wait a minute.
So once you put them up,
they don't want to, yeah.
But they never leave, they don't understand.
Yeah.
It's not a permanent home.
Yeah.
Get it through your head.
Well, to become homeless in and of itself is extremely depressing. It's very depressing to actually have felt secure at one moment, and in the next moment you find yourself without a roof over your head and without any protection. I speak this way, Shanique, and that's even because people would not know. I too became homeless when I was in Atlanta, when my mother became ill. I was working. I sent all of my salary home to my mother to assist with medical, bills and so forth. And so I lived in Hartsfield-Jackson Airport for 3 months before I returned back to the Bahamas in 2006.
In the airport?
In the airport. And so living in the airport, there is air conditioning, yes, Mr. Miller. There were restaurants, and I could eat. I got snacks off of the planes, the cans of juice and the biscuits, and I learned how to survive in the airport for 3 months. But there has to be a mindset that, this is not home. You got to pick up your pants. I used to wash my shirts in the face basin using the soap and dry it up underneath the blower that you use to dry your hands.
Right.
I found a system to survive in the airport, but it's a temporary system.
Story.
So just the same way it is at the Ponciana Inn, it's a temporary system. One day you have to wake up and say, you know what, I need to make the adjustment. I need to change and make sure I secure myself, because this is not going to last forever. No one is going to take care of you forever. Me personally, I caught a flight from Atlanta to Miami, paid my $40 working for the airline to Nassau with 10 cents in my pocket. I'm still here today. You cannot be afraid to leave that temporary shelter and just go ahead and challenge your world. You have to make it happen for yourself. The government doesn't owe you anything. The people of the Bahamas don't owe you anything. You owe it to yourself to get back on your feet and become once again a citizen in this society that's going to play a role in the progress of this nation. You cannot stay there. It's only temporary.
You know, we should all thank God for you and the experience that you have had. But I'll tell you what the problem is with most of those women. They are poor women with very little education. They normally have 2 to 3 children. Nobody ever takes care of the children, none of the fellas. And there's always 3 for 3 different fellas. And they'll neglect them. And even when the government provides them with a job,
They don't want it.
it's a subsistence job. No, some of them have a subsistence job, but the job can't take care of their little ordinary bills.
No, it can't, Leslie, but I want to tell you what happens if we could just stick right there. Just right. Listen, it's a wider problem. We could talk about that, and we will, and we often do. There, though, there's training that's provided, a whole lot that's on offer. Many people don't show up for it, or even that if they happen to luckily get a job, they may feel as though it's menial.
They're entitled to just staying right there in that hotel.
Yeah, they still want to stay there, or they don't show up to the job, or they figure the job ain't paying enough.
And
It's
right.
very difficult. Go ahead, sorry.
But should we politicize this? The thing is, we understand what this shelter represents.
For you to say Shanique, continue to have these people stay there as long as they like is erroneous. It is erroneous. Because now you overspill to where people are not even paying rent. Like me, I'm a landlord. I have a case on Monday on my birthday for someone who hasn't paid rent from last year, July. You want to politicize that a whole year?
1 year ago. So that's the thing. So we all got to play our role. Later in the show, you'll hear some young men who had it very tough in life and as a start in life. But these young men are now making valuable contributions and reaching back.
July 14th.
Wait, Leslie, you may be right, Honorable. You might be right. You might be right, Honorable. But understand, it's one host in the show. One host radio on the show, and she in the middle. That's the center block right there. You looking at Leslie? I asked the questions. I'm saying. That was good, Leslie. That was so good. Yes. No, of course we're having fun. Leslie, you know that. We know we have high admiration for you on the show.
It's so much pain
what
on
the
there.
Dickens, Justin, where that come from? That indication of a break.
Friday, Shanique. It's a fun
Listen, Friday evening got what?
Fun Friday.
Bam.
Yeah.
Let's have it.
Listen, when we come back, we're going to get to much more. That discussion with the Ponciana Inn shelter is nothing new. But it's nothing new. It is people have been resisting leaving that shelter for quite some time, and all we're trying to say is, man, as a nation at 52 years old, we all have to do our part. And trust me, it's not as easy as I am saying. We know it's difficult. Sometimes the doors are shut. But boy, you gotta sometimes go kick some doors down because you've got to make and then these men gotta stop acting like pot cakes and being out there sprinkling their situation and just. But they are. There's a difference. Beyond the Headlines is back after this.
Welcome to Blissful Escapes, where luxury meets affordability. Whether you're seeking relief from aches and pains or simply looking to indulge in some well-deserved pampering, relax and detox in our infrared sauna. Enjoy a soothing Swedish massage or an invigorating exfoliating body scrub. We also provide advanced facial treatments using cutting-edge technology, including hydrofacial, microneedling, and microcurrent therapies, located at the shops of Cable Beach Plaza.
Keisha, one thing with you ain't never have no money. I just sent Miko inside Wendy's just now because Wendy's having their summer promo. Just hot cash, girl. Yes, hot cash. But anyway, we did this one right now. We trying to win this $10,000. And even if you ain't win the $10,000, you can win $2,500 every week. Even if you don't get no ride, Keisha. Anyway, Keisha, I go on Miko Reach. Buy. All you gotta do is upgrade any combo between 1 to 12 to medium or large. And they get this new spicy chicken club sandwich. But I just sent Miko inside there for from June 24th to August 1st. You ain't getting the Wendy's, that's on you. But don't ask me for no money when I win.
Win a brand new 2026 GAC MPOW every week for 5 weeks. Every 10 reward points earns you 1 digital entry. The more entries you gain, the better your chances to win. 5 weeks, 5 cars. Will you be one of our lucky winners? Catch the keys today, only at Island Luck. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so game responsibly.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Of course, it's Friday after the holiday. Listen, pull up a chair. Let's keep this going. Adrian White, the Free National Movement's Member of Parliament for St. Anne's, is taking issue with the PLP hopeful there. Reportedly, Keno Wong, now you would know Wong as president of the National Crime Watch Association of the Bahamas, and he's a businessman as well. Apparently, reportedly, he's seeking the PLP's nomination for St. Anne's. But White says Wong is not suited to represent St. Anne's for varying reasons.
That particular individual lives in the Johnson Terrace community. He's done as much as he can to try to organize the area. We've maintained the park under the constituency capital grant money. This entire administration, past members of parliament, the individual you've mentioned uses the fence at times to hang his commercial tents over in order to dry. But he's an otherwise good person, very strong, hardcore PLP. He interfered with members of the F&M team during the last election day at St. Anne's High School, which was the polling division for the St. Anne's constituency. I lost respect for him because of the way he conducted himself on that day. St. Anne's, I'm running for the people. So whoever they send, that's on them. But I'm going to continue to serve the people of St. Anne's, not worry about any contenders. St. Anne's is a F&M seat, and it will remain that way so long as the F&M candidate and the F&M party still live up to the expectations of the Bahamian people.
Well, gentlemen, there you have it. Of course, you know, this is officially the silly season. Adrian saying, listen, Keno, slow your roll. Now, Adrian would know Keno very well because I'm not sure if Adrian lives in St. Anne's. Perhaps he does, but Keno is extremely active in St. Anne's and the nation because he leads the National Crime Watch program. Keno has appeared on this show, and this is how I know this. He's also gone internationally to help train the various watches, ensure that they're doing a great job, and reportedly, he is seeking the PLP's nomination in St. Anne's as well. In fact, he's still very active in the Johnson Terrace area, I understand, ensuring that that entire neighborhood and area is secured and everybody know each other. Just a real community sort of feel there. But Adrian is saying, Keno, slow your roll. Go back to doing what you do, know what you do, and stay focused in that regard. Gentlemen, does one either member of parliament, incumbent or hopeful, have the right to say to another, stand down, this ain't for you?
I would say that listening to Mr. Adrian White, he's probably right on this one, Leslie Miller. You know the history of St. Anne's, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, St. Anne's is F&M town. I mean, I've not heard it any different in my lifetime. Mm-hmm. And so for him to say that, you know what, you don't qualify, I would think one of the requirements to run in there to win would be to be on the F&M ticket. Not saying that the PLP or any other party cannot win, but the expectancy of victory in St. Anne's, you know, is free national movement. And so, of course, Adrian White has been blessed by our friend Brent Simonet to have actually taken over that constituency. Brent wasn't forced out of there. If he had ran again, he probably would have won again. Mm-hmm. If you could find a pot cake that lives down there and runs on the F&M ticket, they would probably win too.
Exactly.
And so I would say this particular discussion, for once, Adrian White has gained his strength and say, you know what? I'm the big man in here, and by right,
so
he has the ammunition behind him.
So you are saying kudos to Adrian, because Adrian is actually flexing his muscles, and based on his positioning in St. Anne's, he has every right to.
Yeah. Most people, at least when I was in the PLP last week, I'm just going to say it straight. When I was in there, everyone kind of knew that if you ran in St. Anne's, you were taking one for the team. I remember Mr. Trico was running in there, who later became the representative for us in Miami. Mm-hmm. He ran in there. And we had a great time in there. The campaign was very strong for the Progressive Liberal Party. But when the finality of everything came together and say, you know, who's going to be the victorious one here? We knew, Trico, you know, had you won, we'd celebrate, but we expected you to lose, but we're going to take care of you. This is what I understand to be in St. Anne's.
Yeah, but with the greatest respect, I don't expect a sitting MP to try to belittle any Bahamian who has aspirations to run in any constituency in this country. The role as an MP to take care of his people, to see to it that they're happy. Now, he can say those things because he realized the full reality of what takes place in that constituency.
That's correct.
That constituency is majority white, and they're not going to vote regularly for a black Bahamian to begin with. And he has that resiliency with them, and that diet and that connection with them, as well as he has with many of the blacks of there, upper class blacks.
I think his wife is black.
That way, but to down Mr. Wong. Okay, who has every right to run?
Yeah, he's married to a black. He's married to a black woman. Yes.
You don't down a fella. He hasn't got the nomination yet. But what's the problem with him running? I mean, you can't belittle anyone.
No problem.
To say that they cannot run against you.
Yeah, but no problem running.
I don't think that's fair.
No problem running.
Or any other Bahamian. It's totally unfair, in my opinion.
But Mr. Miller, listen, if you've been beaten down from forever, like every time you go to school, you get a cut hip, and you finally get to beat one fella, you ain't gonna boast about that man. They cut his hip. This is what is happening.
Elections have
the F&M been getting beat down so long.
Yeah, and I think Adrian probably is in the best position to say, listen, excuse me, slow your roll, know where you are, and go stand down. But again, you know,
every seat is going to be contested.
Yes.
Whether you win or lose.
Yes.
Yes, it has to.
But don't down the man and belittle him that he has no right to come and run against you.
Well,
that's what elections are all about.
We down in Dr. Sanso in Elizabeth, eh?
No,
we
why?
Tell him,
why?
What you mean? Joe Bear tell him, when you're ready, come bring that behind you, let me cut that.
But he was he was the MP.
Yeah, but she's still challenging him too. It's just a challenge.
No, that's not a challenge.
No, a challenge is different than
that's
saying...
Different. He's saying he has no...
First of all, I've not heard the challenge. However, though, a challenge is different than saying, excuse me, this here right here, this here game ain't for you.
Exactly.
Step aside.
Okay, that's
not fair.
That is different.
That's not fair, and it's uncool.
Yeah.
You know, but let's see the evidence. We'll tell him bring the evidence and let's see if he's right.
But I think it's all politics. And guess what? Adrian, in a way, he could really afford to have the hardest mouth right now in the F&M. And so he figured, listen, Keno, excuse me, this ain't your game. You need to know the rules of this game. Step aside. And so this is, you know, what he's saying. And so we'll see how that plays out.
He should be happy that in his opinion he has a weak opponent who can't beat him, so that means he has a sure win. He should be happy, man. I went down, the guy will welcome him, man.
But we don't know if the guy is weak. We just know that I think it's maybe his first time at politics.
They send a strong opponent against him.
He's just feeling the strength, Leslie.
I'm
just trying to help the fellow out in this one instance, because we've been beating him down bad.
And guess what? It's good that he's doing that. Why not?
I got them.
Why not do, Adrian, why not flex your own muscles, eh? Why not do that? But listen, gentlemen.
Not to the detriment of somebody else.
Well, no, of course. He doesn't have a right to say who can run, where they run, how they run, and if they run. I'm just saying that he figure he's the big boy in town and recognize that, show respect for it, and let's move forward.
I like it.
Speaking of respect, moving forward and the rest of it, gentlemen, we mentioned this last week. The Trump administration is telling migrants, we're going to talk about the Haitian migrants, which number around 750,000 plus
Easy.
In the United States, who fell under some temporary program that the Biden administration kept extending. But now that Americans themselves find themselves in a financial squeeze and of the level of crime, the Trump administration is saying what they're saying. But before we get to the Haitians, this order is being sent to several migrants, Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, Venezuelans, and perhaps one or two others. Listen, hi, this little temporary status thing you all been enjoying, we're done. Now, our focus is mainly on the Haitians, because what the Haitians are saying, if you've followed the story so far and you've read the articles, you see the Haitians saying, go back to Haiti for what? That there's nowhere in Haiti for us to go to. It is dangerous in Haiti. Yeah. So they are looking at places like Canada and Mexico, where they say, where they are hoping that they can find maybe relatives that can welcome them and all this stuff. But let's just talk about where the Bahamas finds itself and what does that mean for the Bahamas. We see the Royal Bahamas Defense Force say it's beefing up its border patrol and protection. But how concerned should we be?
I say we have much to be concerned about. And just recently on your show, Shanique Miller, I made mention that we have to stop being a confused nation, caught between Britain, America, and China. In this particular situation of immigration, do we now need to borrow a page out of the book of North America in terms of regulating our own immigration situation? We too are faced with immigration challenges. Just like President Trump, we are threatened. We have Bahamians that are homeless in Grand Bahama. They're living on the beaches in their cars. If you go to places like Adelaide at night, there are people living in their cars right here in Nassau. Yes. People are just simply in our own country. I want to just play with the word stateless. We have become a stateless people ourselves due to overpopulation. Imagine if any of those people claim that, I do have a Bahamian passport. I actually came from Haiti through the Bahamas. Don't send me to Haiti, send me back to the Bahamas. It's a safer country than Haiti is. Then you may just very well be forced to have maybe 100, 200,000 people added to your 400,000, which brings it to 600,000. And presently right now, you got people living in Ponciana Inn. You got people living out west. You got people living in the cars. You got people who can't have jobs. And I just want to take this time, Shanique Miller, to invite the sensible people from Haiti who live with us to understand that it is not a hatred game for the Bahamas.
No, it's not.
It's just a survival situation and a preservation.
Survival and a preservation of our sovereignty.
Yes.
You must. The reason the United States is taking what may seem as very strict and unprecedented measures, because their population, the Americans, have felt now for too long, in particular under the Biden administration that did a lot of stupid, silly stuff, their sovereignty was threatened. And so Bahamians have been saying for decades now that their sovereignty is threatened and they can no longer, the Prime Minister said this, when Prime Minister Davis went abroad and quite a number of international platforms where he spoke, he said the Bahamas cannot absorb this anymore, cannot absorb anymore.
Well, did you see the newspaper yesterday? There's about 60 faces in there.
What about it?
He's talking with people asking for citizenship.
Listen, we all know. The program the United States government has initiated under this program called 2025.
Yes.
That's a program to ensure
that
they will not allow by the year 2050 that there are more people of color in America than whites. That's what it's all about. Let's get that straight. That's what you need to put in our heads. There would be more people of color in America if Mr. Trump don't curtail what is going on now than white people. And America don't want that to happen. This administration will not try not to let it happen. The problem we have is that Bahamas Air goes there twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday. So one could assume that if they send 100,000 Haitians back to Haiti, then Bahamas Air flights go there on Tuesday and Thursday, they just keep bringing, maybe they'll put 4 flights a day or 5 a day. That's the seriousness of how I take it, because we are going to be inundated with Haitians now coming here. Forget them coming by boat. they can come by plane. Because most of them are going to have forged passports. The guy's going to say, where you born when you leave here? Me? I'm from Carmichael Road. This happened to us before. This is not the first time, In 1980. 1980 was 2000. Or 1990, I think it was 2000. When America, Canada, and the UK wanted to clean out their jails. From prolific persons who've been in jail, murderers, rapists, the worst of the worst. They went to all the prisons. Where you from?
Send them home.
They went to Jamaica.
We got some of them
Jamaica
here.
said they cannot get a plane unless they get a valid Jamaican passport. Went to Barbados. Barbados said it ain't gonna happen. Went to Trinidad. Trinidad said it ain't gonna happen. They came here to Bahamas and we took them.
How can Jamaica?
Because they pressure us because of our proximity to the United States and the hold that they have on us politically and geographically. We did what they asked us to do, and they are still here. But not only agents, I said criminals.
Yes, but even more, the U.S. should want to safeguard the Bahamas. Why? Because the Bahamas is on their doorstep. They have said this. Remember when Marco Rubio came and met with CARICOM and said, listen, this region is too important to us, and the Bahamas especially, because you all are right, this us, this y'all. We don't need the wrong set of people here, because that's going to spell trouble there. And so what I'm saying is, though, let's come back to governance in the region. Yes. If Jamaica say, I'm high, what passport that is? Yes. No, the line don't go like this, it go like this. Right. Keep them, take them wherever. If Barbados said the same thing as you said, what we said?
Because the proximity of the Bahamas is the nearest point to the U.S. Bimini is only, 60 miles away. The rest of the islands are right there. We are a compilation of 700 islands and keys. The Haitians know that they stand a better chance of coming to the Bahamas and living a better life among their relatives who are here. Legal or illegal, no matter. They are coming here. And there's no way we can stop a dray load of them from coming here by boat or by plane. This is why, again, I question. Why is Bahamas there going there twice a week on Tuesday and Thursday? Empty, as I understand it, and coming back full. And telling me, as a Bahamian, that the fellas coming here on vacation and within 2 weeks or 60 days, they're leaving here. Who would believe that? Do you believe it, God? Do you believe they come and go? No, do you believe it?
Listen, Mr. Miller.
People are very frustrated to know. No, but very frustrated with this problem.
We have to look at our governance as unique, as I was saying to us. When you meet with your representatives each month in your local vicinity, you need to have this hard conversation with your representatives. This is what I'm expecting from you. When you enter into the House of Assembly, I need you to stand on these principles. I need you to have a very tough immigration conversation that we can go ahead and pass bills to ensure the safety and actually our sovereignty here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This has to happen. I've always been a proponent of local government. I've always said to you people that we can go ahead and filter people with the use of local government so that we can monitor each of our communities, each of our constituencies. We can govern and manage these entities. We're not doing that, Leslie Miller. We're finding ways and loopholes that we can.
I understand.
I'm just upset about it.
Mind you, I'm not blaming the government for what is going to take place.
Not blaming them, but we have to change the system. The system itself has to be changed.
We have just got to stand up and protect what's ours. Exactly.
And stop the tirade.
There are immigration laws in place, and when you find immigration officers who go contrary to the laws on the books, meaning the corrupt practices that many of them have been or maybe just a few have been involved with, then you've got to now step up on that.
Listen, let me tell you something. We always talk about the Haitians. I have 2 uncles that are Haitians. I call them uncle. Their children are my cousins, first cousins. My grandfather adopted them. Okay, I have nothing against Haitians. But the Bahamas cannot carry the load anymore.
This is what Prime Minister Davis said this last year on the world stage.
The Bahamas is a small country. We can't bear it anymore. No. And America will not give us $1 damn dollar. They have it with our problem, with the foreign national. But you want to see something? I want you all to go to any of the small schools in this country, especially school to take care of the kids. Who do you think working there? All Cubans. You think it's only Haitians? Oh, Cubans work there. To these places, everybody in here. I think the government needs, again, to put a moratorium on citizenship, give you another status, let us reassess our problem with our own people. God only give us one country. It's called the Bahamas. That's all my family, that's all of us get, all the poor kids, all of us. With children and grandchildren, and those yet unborn. I'm going to look forward to us and say, what did you all do? When push came to shove, did you all protect our future? Because it's their future we're looking out for.
So the number one proponent,
what are we going to do?
The number one proponent for winning the next general election is, what is your plan for immigration reform?
Address immigration.
If you can give us that plan, and you can put that in black and white, and we can believe it,
address immigration.
you can win the next
I don't know
election.
why we got to continue to give out citizenship when there's other avenues we can use. That's all I'm saying. I don't sit in cabinet. I don't speak for the government. I speak as a Bahamian.
But you're the right honorable, though.
I speak for Bahamians.
Thank you
I speak for
having us
Bahamians.
tonight.
I'm Bahamian. I'm telling you, I go to those houses just every week. I know how these people feel. They are very, very concerned about where we're headed when it comes to immigration. I'm telling you, very, very concerned.
Rightly so, and
they have a right to be.
And Americans have become concerned, and it's shocking because we're not used to them being concerned. Immigration has never been their thing. Now it's become their thing, and that's why they are applauding what's happening. And so, therefore, the Bahamas has been concerned for decades. This ain't just happened for decades. But now we are newly concerned all over again, and we need it addressed.
We cannot afford it anymore.
Yes. This is something that we will continue to talk about. Yes, absolutely. We will continue to talk about again. Look it up for yourselves. Over 750,000 Haitians. See, the other people could go back. Yeah, the people can go back. There are other nations involved as well, but they can go back and do whatever. But listen, we're gonna pick this back up again next week. I thank you so much, Leslie Miller, Right Honourable, and also Garth Rosborough. Thank you. The Left Honourable. Garth said he's the Left Honourable. Listen, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to talk about a nice program, guided steps that really has been in motion since 2017, what it's about, and also what they're doing right now to help make a difference.
Driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
If
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Thank you so much for continuing to stay tuned and join us. We're going to shift gears in this segment and talk about an outreach program that really is making an impact. Since 2017, Guided Steps have stepped in. The co-founders have come together to be able to reach particularly those hard to reach young men in particular. This summer, they have already launched it, but what they're looking for are 500 young men. However you come, I mean, you don't have to be squeaky clean and no, however you are, they want to reach out to these young men to help get them out of where they find themselves stuck and perhaps down the wrong path and kind of have them realigned and going on to a better life right here in the Bahamas. I'm so happy to have these gentlemen join me this evening. The organization is called Guided Steps, and the co-founders are Wilmin Noel and Dion McPhee. Gentlemen, hello to both of you. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines.
Thank you for having us.
It's good to have you both here. Let's just talk about Guided Steps. What was the sort of the premise behind it that caused you both to come together and decide, you know what, this sort of organization is needed for the Bahamas now and to do the work that you're doing?
Well, basically, growing up in Engliston, we saw a need that, first of all, with young men in this community, they're going in a down spiral. With young men in this community, they, as you can see, you check the data and statistics, you have young men that are losing their lives at a very young age. They're going to prison, and we understand that, you know, everyone didn't have it as good growing up, trying to give as much as we can, give second chances as much as we can, and see how best we can give back to the community and helping.
Yeah, so that was sort of kind of what got you talking, obviously coming together and deciding this is what you're going to do. Let's talk about the young men who are in already sort of what would be considered at-risk communities. Jump in, Dion, about what is it that disturbed you and Wilmin and caused you to take this action?
What really disturbed us is seeing the young man fall so easily into peer pressure. You know, peer pressure in those certain areas like Angliston is very, very, very real. You know, sometimes we look at it and say, man, it's nothing, but at the end of the day, they are faced with drugs, violence, and it starts within the home. So we just wanted to reach out to show them that, hey, there's love outside of the home, and there's not just love in drugs and guns or any violent aspect.
Now, Guided Steps, just a fancy name for you both to like flex and show that you're trying to do something. You both have your own stories, and you know what it is to be sort of rehabilitated, to be given a second chance. Let's quickly sort of run through your experiences. I know, for example, you, Dion, we'll tell you about Wilmin in a moment, and the fact that he really came from the bottom up. Dion as well had no foundation really. Dion, you never knew your father to this very evening, right now this evening, and yet that somehow did not stand in your way. Let's tell us your story for a quick moment.
Yes, that's so true. You know, it's all about mindset. I grew up in a single mother home. My mom had 4 boys. I am the youngest. The oldest one is deceased now. And my mother, she's always stern and on discipline, so thanks be to God for her. She's very strong, and she steered us in the right direction. Presently, my second oldest brother is serving time in jail.
Oh, wow.
And my mother...
So you have a feeling, do you all have the same father, by the way?
No, we do not have the same father.
Okay, because I was about to say maybe it impacted him differently, but go ahead.
Right. And my mother, she always said that she felt like she lost the first 2. But the last 2, my brother who's above me, he's also an inspector of police. So she was very hard on us, and she made sure we stayed in church. So the foundation with her being a single mother was tremendous. She did a very good job. And like I say, my mindset was to always be better than what I see, be better, live above the influence, my surroundings.
By the way, Dion is also a member of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. And so, Dion, you never having met your father, and obviously your brother above you, you all decided you would change the narrative of your story and your family's story.
Yes, we surely did that, you know. We did that from an early age also, from school. We stayed out of trouble. Every report card day, my mother smiled. In high school, I never saw a GPA below 3 point.
Oh, fantastic.
Never, and that's why I applaud, through the grace of God, applaud my mother for she did an excellent job.
So, Wilman, let's talk about your story. Now, you know what Fox Hill looks like firsthand. Yeah. Tell us about being incarcerated. What happened? What did you do? And the fact is, you now find yourself on this show this evening in a coat suit.
Most definitely. So, through the grace of God, for His glory, I was around the wrong place, around the wrong people at the wrong time. So, I was arrested and charged for being around the wrong crowd. And God remanded, bail denied for 6 months in prison to come back to get sentenced, but that's a whole nother story. But that didn't stop me as well. Understanding that I had to separate myself. Majority of my friends aren't here today. They died. One of my other close friends is serving a 56 years to life in prison.
Term in prison.
Most definitely. Mm-hmm. And understanding that, you know what, it can be different and it can start with me. Also understanding that I want to be an example for young men in the community growing up, and understand that once you want to change your lifestyle and what you're doing, once you put God first, you can change. You can make better of yourself. And today, you know, I want to be that example.
And so this is the story that you both now push through Guided Steps. Talk about your school outreach program and the fact that you don't just sit here and talk about it or come up with some idea that, you know what, let's get some men working. You actually start from the school level to begin changing mindsets.
Right. So what we do is, well, let's say, for example, if the school is having problems with young men, young boys in their school, whether it be gang activity, young men at risk, they reach out to us. First, we find out what's the situation, how better we can, like what we like to say, smash the beef, right? Mm-hmm. And what we do as well, we don't just stop there. We visit them at least once every week for at least a year. We take them to church, whoever had that altercation or that problem, we put them in rooms so they can work together and build chemistry together and understand that we all are human beings. We all struggling to make it through the grace of God, but we have to work together.
That is so amazing. That sounds good. How impactful has that program been? Because we see what's playing out on our streets, whether it is mental health and young men attempting suicide in just unprecedented numbers. Obviously, we see the violence on the streets with men taking out their issues on each other or gang-related, whatever it is. So how impactful has this school program been?
It's been impactful. So for now, we are now at R.M. Bailey and C.V. Bell. We hope to start working along with Government High School when the next year school term opens. So what we do as well is, if I can give you a quick story, Shanique, one of the young boys at R.M. Bailey said that before we came through the grace of God, they was about to have a bloody party at the last day of school.
Wow, they had this plan.
They had this plan.
Because we know how these students will probably turn up on the last day of school.
Exactly.
So y'all caused something that could have been totally different to be averted.
Through the grace of God. And so God was the front and the center of what we do. Mm-hmm. And so when we went there, we had that conversation with them, and they said they appreciate the fact that God was able to step in to have them not put themselves in positions where they can lose their life or lose their careers and moving forward with life.
Okay, now let's talk about this now. And I commend you both for doing that. I mean, look, for example, the work you're doing and how it's paying off just last month. You caused something to be averted that could have been so just stunning and shocking for this nation and for the community. But let's just talk about what you're doing. You've already gotten dozens of men, these same types of young men employed, and they are realizing that they can turn their lives around, but you are looking for 500 young men or varying ages to be able to get them out of where they are, change their mindsets, and get them on jobs. Let's talk about that. Dion, you jump in first.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, most of the young men, they're home on the blocks. They use the excuse for getting into trouble is we don't have no jobs. So we don't want to just be in their air singing, talking, man, y'all do better, do better. Are we not in a position to provide some kind of structure for them? Hence the reason why we would have partnered with Titan Hospitality to assist these young men, put them through a training program where they can ascertain jobs to make money. If you think about it, most of the young men in society, they commit crime for money. So for the most part, if they're working, it lessens their chance to be out there committing crime to make money. You could be on a 9 to 5 or 8 hour job a day. They see what it is to put in that work and make their own money. It makes them responsible and it holds them accountable from the streets into a hotel, into a restaurant, serving people. And you know, for the most part, Shanique, they're very excited about it. You know what I mean? The mere fact that they could wake up, get ready and say, hey, going to work, trust me, that's a heart of joy.
Do feel a part of being something meaningful,
Right.
of the forward progress of this nation. I mean, after all, it takes all of us and whatever it is that we're doing and wherever our interests lie to be able to make a difference, Wilman? Yes. Let's talk about the fact that you all are saying, listen, we want 500 of you out there making an impact, making a difference.
Yes, most definitely. So it doesn't matter where you come from. You could be from Pinewood, Angliston, The Grove. It doesn't matter. You could come with no degrees, no certifications. Once you have the willpower to want to change, you know, and you understand that you want to be better in life, you can reach out to us. It doesn't matter where you come from, where you grew up, your background. We just want to assist. We want to show you that once you put your best foot forward, that you can make an impact in this country, that you can belong, and that you are enough.
And stop with the excuses. I mean, both these men are examples, and they are well appointed where they're presently employed. And I'm sure they have even bigger dreams beyond where they're at now. And I wouldn't say where they're employed and what they do, but they are well appointed. You perhaps would see them moving about. That's how sort of public jobs that they have. Even Dion, who's on the police force, his job has him in a different light and a different position right now. And so the thing is, it's possible. Dion, who never met his father, didn't use that as an excuse to become angry and decide he's going to turn to a life of crime. Wilman, who served time for being, again, he knew it, wrong place, wrong time, bad company, decided, you know what, I need to change this if I have to change me. And he too sits in a place of prominence. And so, gentlemen, talk about how young men, mothers out there listening in, family members who know loved ones and they need their lives turned around. How can they contact Guided Steps?
All right, so what they can do, they can contact us on 433-7572, 468-5999, and 447-772. You can also reach out to us on our page. Say those numbers again. 433-7572, 468-5999, and 447-772. You can also reach out to us on social media on our page, Guided Steps Program.
By the way, that's GUIDED, Guided Steps. Go ahead.
Definitely. Yes, and also we would like to also invite other companies to partnership with us. Shout out to our first company that partnership with us, Titan Hospitality, Santiago and the whole team, for opening doors for our young men in the community to give them jobs. And we want to also expand. So whether you have a construction company, whether you have a taxi company, whatever it is, you understand these young men need jobs.
And you don't just send them out there with their attitudes and present mindsets.
No.
Is a level of training and re-indoctrination that happens, yes?
Most definitely. So what we do as well is when we reach out to these young men, we first take them to church, make sure that God is the foundation in their lives. After taking them to church, we mentor them, we coach them for about like 6 months, and then we see our best suitable, which jobs they can go to, and that's how we get them employed.
Gentlemen, congratulations to both of you. Excellent work that you're doing. Continue doing it. Come back and share some greater success stories as well as you continue to move forward and this major, such an ambitious program right now to get 500 men out of wherever they are, being listless and just misguided, to get them working, trained, qualified, and making a difference. I thank you both so much. Wilmin Noel and Dion McPhee, thank you so much. Guided Steps, gentlemen, continue doing an amazing job. I want to thank all of you this evening for tuning in and hanging out. Well, we had a little break in the week because it was Independence. By the way, happy Independence once again. Thank you all so much for tuning in this week. I look forward to seeing you right back here on Monday evening. We have an amazing show for you, big things. And so certainly tune in on Monday. And